The council chambers fell silent as Ambassador Mia Chen gathered her datapads with deliberate precision. Her movements were calm, almost ceremonial, as she placed each device into her diplomatic case. The assembled representatives of 47 species watched, their various sensory organs focused on the human woman who had served them faithfully for 12 years. Ambassador Chen, Counselor Vextar's mandibles clicked nervously. Surely we can discuss this further. The quarantine protocols were necessary for your peace of mind. Mia interrupted softly, her voice carrying across the vast chamber despite its gentleness. Not for our safety. We both know that. Kevin Morrison stood at the chamber's entrance, his military dress uniform pristine, his face an unreadable mask. As commander of the Human Defense Auxiliary, he had served alongside Council forces in 17 campaigns. He had bled with them, saved their lives, watched them die. Now he stood as witness to humanity's quiet departure. The Valaxian representative, her crystalline form refracting the chamber's lights into fractured rainbows, spoke with genuine distress. The Council values humanity's contributions. Your species has been instrumental in fighting your wars, Kevin said, his voice carrying the weight of those 17 campaigns. In solving your problems, in dying for your causes, he paused, his jaw tight. But never in being trusted, never in being equals. It had started 3 months ago. A human research vessel, the Endeavour, had discovered something in the Kepler expanse traces of an ancient civilization, technology that could revolutionize faster than light travel. Dr. Sarah Okonkwo and her team had followed every protocol, reported their findings immediately to the Council. The Council's response had been swift: immediate seizure of all human research, quarantine of every human vessel in Council space, and the suspension of humanity's junior membership status pending investigation into potential security breaches. No other species had ever faced such treatment, not the Valaxians when they discovered the Helix gates, not the Kron when they'd unlocked quantum shielding. Only humanity. Mia had argued. She had presented evidence, cited precedents, appealed to the relationships humanity had built over decades of loyal service. The Council had listened with what she now recognized as condescending patience, then voted to maintain the restrictions. That was when the messages had gone out across human networks. Not angry calls for retaliation, not demands for justice, simply a quiet acknowledgement of reality, and a collective decision. Humanity would withdraw. We're not leaving in anger, Mia said, closing her case with a soft click. We're leaving with clarity. You've shown us where we stand, and we accept that assessment. But the trade agreements, sputtered the mercantile representative, a being whose entire economy had been illusionized by human adaptability. The defense pacts, the research collaborations, will all conclude as scheduled, Mia confirmed. We honor our commitments. The last human soldiers will withdraw from Council space within 60 days. All joint research will be handed over to Council scientists. All trade contracts will be fulfilled to the letter. Kevin pulled up his wrist display, the holographic data casting blue light across his features. The withdrawal is already underway. 18,000 human personnel across 73 stations and 42 worlds. Engineers, scientists, soldiers, merchants, teachers. He looked up, his eyes hard. We built your infrastructure. We taught your children. We died defending your worlds. And you quarantined us like a virus. The Vexarian counselor's voice took on a desperate edge. They were security concerns, legitimate questions about human intentions. There are always questions about human intentions, Mia said, her tone carrying decades of accumulated weariness. We're too aggressive, too peaceful, too innovative, too reckless, too cautious, too different. She shouldered her case. We understand now. We'll always be the junior species, the useful but never quite trustworthy humans. So, we're choosing to step back. You can't just leave. The counselor's voice cracked. Who will maintain the defense grid? Who will innovate solutions to? You will, Kevin said simply. Your advanced species, ancient civilizations. You managed before humans joined the Council. You'll manage after. But they all knew the truth. Hanging in the chamber's recycled air like smoke. Humans had become the Council's backbone. Human adaptability had solved problems that had stymied species for centuries. Human courage had turned the tide in wars against the Ravagers. Human creativity had sparked a renaissance across Council space. And human patience had finally run out. Mia walked toward the exit where Kevin stood. The assembled counselors watched, some in shock, others in what might have been shame. She paused at the threshold, looking back one final time. "We came to you in hope," she said quietly. "We believed in the ideals you proclaimed: unity, cooperation, mutual respect. We gave everything to prove ourselves worthy of standing beside you." Her smile was sad. "Perhaps someday you'll be ready to meet us as equals. Until then, we'll be out there, building our own future." Kevin fell into step beside her as they exited the chamber. Behind them, chaos erupted, voices raised in panic, demands for reconsideration, threats of consequences. The doors sealed, muting the discord. "They'll try to stop the withdrawal," Kevin said as they walked through the crystalline corridors. "Let them try," Mia replied. "Every human has already voted. The decision is made." In the weeks that followed, the council watched in growing horror as humanity simply left, quietly, professionally, completely. They took their innovations, their courage, their hope, and they withdrew to human space, and the council was left to account for its actions. Surrounded by the infrastructure humans had built, protected by defenses humans had designed, facing problems humans had always solved, left to wonder if they just made the greatest mistake in council history. Left alone with their prejudices and their pride, while humanity, quietly, built something new among the stars.